Hi friends, if you're new here, I'm Jess, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. And today I'm really excited because I am going to be doing my first ever TBR Jar video. So if you watched my video earlier in the week, you'll have seen that I made myself my own TBR jar, which I'm very excited for, and I've got a bunch of prompts in here to pull. Here is my TBR pile. I don't currently have a bookcase or a bookshelf or any form of book storage, so I've just had these books kind of piled up around the house. So I've put them all together. I need to invest in a bookcase, but I'm just trying to work out where in the house that would work and then measure and stuff. But yeah, I'm honestly so excited. I love watching TBR Jar videos, so I'm very excited to be doing my own one. And if you have any suggestions for prompts, let me know down below in the comments, because I could definitely do with some more prompts in here. I do also just want to apologise for the sound of my voice and my makeupless bare face. I have been unwell with a cough for over 2 weeks now and a cold, and when I put makeup on I just end up like blowing my nose and then the makeup going all weird, so I'm just moisturiser and getting on with my day. So sorry that I look a bit, well, I look like this. Before we start putting the prompts, there is one book that I'm definitely going to be reading in April that I don't currently have in this stack, and that is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. So my friend Freya has just read it, and I'm actually going for dinner with her this evening, and she's lending me it to read, and I'm so excited to read it. So I'm just definitely going to be reading it as soon as I've got my mitts on it. So that is going to be on the April TBR, but it isn't here physically with me, but I'll put a picture of the cover here for you. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for 5 prompts. That feels like a realistic amount with the 6th book being My Husband's Wife. And one May. I've got a purple one. I'm actually quite nervous. Oh god. Oh. A book with over 500 pages. Okay. I actually don't know if any of these are going to be over 500 pages. Oh, okay, so there's quite a chunky Lisa Jewell book there. Let's see how many pages that has. One May. 469 pages. That is so frustratingly close. Okay, so not that one. It's definitely like the thickest looking book. I probably should have checked how many pages they all had before I put that prompt in, because I've got this, The Corset by Laura Purcell, which looks chunky, but also does it just look chunky because it's a hardback? Oh gosh, that one's only $3.92. Okay, what about this other hardback? This could be falling at the first hurdle. What a fail. 391. And this one is Ma'am by Jessica George. But not enough pages. All of these are going to be way too small. The only other option could be The Fall by Louise Jensen. Let's check that one. Why did I put that prompt in? 452. Right, okay. That prompt's a fail. I'm not going to put it back in the jar, but when I get a couple of bigger books, I'll put it back in the jar. Right. Let's try again, shall we? Prompt 1, take 2. I honestly really thought that I had some bigger books, but apparently not. A book picked by a friend. Oh, fun. Okay. Here you go. So I'm going to wait until I've finished the rest of the prompts, and then I will send a friend a picture of the pile and get them to pick my next book. So editing Jess will edit a clip in. So actually going to text my friend Freya and get her to pick a book. So let's do that now. She is who I've chosen to help me pick because she texted me 8 minutes ago, so hopefully that means her phone is within reach. Okay, I've just texted her a picture of all the books and said, please pick one of these for me to read in April. And she's put, I am honoured! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. So let's see what she picks. The suspense! Freya, if you're watching this, this is live. You're live on channel Life with Jess Cooper. I really don't know what she's going to go for. So she actually gave me... Where is it? Where is it? It's not there. Is it there? What the hell? Where has that book gone? Am I being stupid? Oh, it's literally right there. She actually gave me The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Okay, interesting. So she said, I've read quite a few of these, but I think I'm going to pick one I haven't read but really want to, so I can get your opinion on it first. And she has gone for The Names by Florence Knapp, which is so exciting. Yes, Freya, great choice. Okay, so for our first prompt, a book picked by a friend, my friend Freya has picked The Names by Florence Knapp, which is a great choice and I'm so excited to read. I've heard so many amazing things about this, so I do have quite high expectations. It is 1987, and in the wake of a great storm, Cora set out with her young daughter to register the birth of her son. Her husband expects her to follow tradition and call the baby after him, but is it right for her child to inherit his name from generations of domineering men? Her choice will shape the course of their lives. 7 years later, her son is Bear, a name chosen by his sister, hoping he will grow up to be brave and big-hearted. Or he is Julian, the name of his mother set her heart on... Sorry, I misread that. The name his mother set her heart on, keen for him to become his own person. Or is he Gordon, named after his father and raised in his cruel image? But is there still a chance to break the mould? Powerfully moving and full of hope, this is the story of 3 names, 3 versions of life, and the infinite possibilities that a single decision can spark. I'm so excited to read this. I just think it's such an interesting concept. Thank you very much, Freya, for your suggestion. I'm very excited to read it. Okay, prompt number 2. Oh, they're all getting stuck together. Got an orange bun. Oh, this is a long one. A book that starts with the first letter of my breakfast. Oh, this is fun. This is a prompt that Matt picked. So I guess my breakfast today was Weetabix. So I could either go with W if I have one that starts with W. And if I don't, I could go with C for cereal. Do I have any with a W? Okay. So I do have one beginning with W. I think I've only got one. Just double checking. Well, it depends because I've got one called A Watermelon, a Fish and a Bible by Christy Lifteri. Technically it starts with A. And then I've also got Where We Belong by Anstey Harris. So I think I'm going to go for Where We Belong by Anstey Harris. So a book starting with the same letter as my breakfast. W for Weetabix. I'm so excited to read this. I picked this up in the charity shop and I didn't really know anything about it. I'll be honest, I just picked it up because of the cover. But since picking it up, I have seen a few people talk about it and I am really excited. excited. I am really excited. Says Kate and her son Leo have packed up their house, said goodbye to their friends, and are on their way to the Hatter's Museum of the Wide Wide World just for the summer. Once she knows the truth, can she still walk away? So I don't really know what genre this is, but it says a beautiful story of love, loss and resilience. There we go. That's our first, was technically second book. Beautiful. That is very exciting. Okay, so now prompt number 3. Let's go. I want this pink one. We're going with the pink one. And this says, oh, a book that ticks off a letter in my reading the alphabet spread in my reading journal. That's a fun one. Let's grab the reading journal and see what letters we're missing. I've got my reading journal. Let's flip through to the alphabet spread and see what letters I'm missing. Okay, so here is my alphabet spread. You can see I've ticked off quite a few. And I'm going to take into consideration what I'm currently reading and also the books picked so far, although where we belong I have already got W ticked off, and it's not currently in here because I haven't finished reading it, but I'm currently reading Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, so A will also be ticked off. So have I ticked off C, because I'd really like to read the second Hunger Games book, and that would be Catching Fire. Oh, okay, so I haven't ticked off C yet, so that could be a really good option. What else am I quite excited to read? I've also got in here Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, but I have ticked off B. I do also have 0 Days by Ruth Ware, and that would tick off Z, which would be a really difficult letter to tick off. Ooh. But I just think that Catching Fire in the Hunger Games series is going to be a difficult book to tick off in terms of like prompts that are going to let me pick that. So I think I'm going to go for Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. So book 3 of my TBR prompt picks was ticking off a letter on my Read the Alphabet challenge. So I have gone for Catching Fire because I haven't ticked off C in my alphabet yet. And I read the first book last month, really loved it, rated it 5 stars. So I'm very excited to read book 2. Okay, time to pick prompt 4. We've got a purple one again. Okay, a book with flowers on the cover. Can you read that? Interesting. Again, I probably should have checked if any of these have flowers on the cover before I wrote that prompt, but that would be too sensible, wouldn't it? Let's have a look. So there's one here called Death at Daffodil Inn, which definitely looks like it has some flowers on the cover, and I feel like It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover has some flowers on the front as well. It's right at the bottom of the pile though, isn't it? Goalsies! Right, let me have a look. Okay, so I've got 2 options for the book with a flower on the cover. The first option is Death at Daffodil Inn, which says a budding new romance, a dead body discovered, who can you trust? This is by R.L. Kilmore, and there are, well, first of all, it's got the word daffodil in the title, but also can you see at the bottom there's daffodils all along the front of like the inn. So this is option 1, and obviously this comes across as kind of like a mystery thriller vibe. And then the second one is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and again that's just a big old shattered flower on the front. I'm really torn on what to go with, but I think I'm going to go with It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, just because I've had a lot of people recommend this to me and I kind of want to see what it's about. I haven't seen the film either, so if I get on with the book I might watch the film. So yeah, this is for the prompt, a book with a flower on the cover, and that technically is a flower, it's just all broken up, I think. This is when someone comments saying that that's not a flower. Let's see. Okay, for the fifth and final prompt, here's my jar. Let's see what we get. We've got a green one. Ooh, a book with green on the cover. Interesting. Okay. First one that jumps out to me is The Names by Florence Knapp. Let's get out a couple of options. We've got some options. In fact, we've got quite a few of books with green on the cover, so let's chat through and then decide. First one is The Fall by Louise Jensen. Those trees, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but they are green at the top, so that's technically green on the cover. I've also got The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, which I would argue is like a bluey green, like a teal. So I don't know if technically it counts, but it's quite green. We've got 0 Days by Ruth Ware. There's a lot of like green grass in the middle, but there's green on the cover. Then, this one I will likely not pick because I've already got a Colleen Hoover book in my TBR for the month, but Verity by Colleen Hoover. It's kind of like a dark foresty green cover. And then the next two, I've just realised I've not taken the stickers off the front, but I got these in Waterstones literally the other day. So I've got Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, which has a lot of green trees and foliage on the front. And I've also got The Names by Florence Knapp, which has this kind of green and pink cover. This is a difficult one, but I do think that it's going to be between Broken Country and The Hating Game. And I'm not going to lie, I feel more drawn to Broken Country at the minute. I've seen a lot of people put this on their spring TBR, and as we're going into spring, it just feels fitting. So, I think today, for my fifth and final prompt, with green on the cover, I'm going to go for Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. And I'm very excited about it. Okay, and with that done, let's recap on all of the books that we've picked out for my April TBR. So for prompt 1, we had a book picked by a friend, and my friend Freya picked The Names by Florence Knapp. For book 2, we had a book that starts with the first letter of my breakfast, and today I had Weetabix. So for W, we went for Where We Belong by Anstey Harris. Then for prompt 3, we had a book that ticks off a letter in my Reading the Alphabet spread in my book journal, and there were quite a few options and letters that I haven't read yet, but I decided to be a bit cheeky and use this as an excuse to read Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, as I read the first Hunger Games book last month and I really, really loved it, and I've been really excited to move on to book 2. So now I've got it on my April TBR, which is very exciting. For prompt 4, we had a book with flowers on the cover, and for that prompt I went with It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I actually don't know too much about this book, but very excited to give it a read. And then the fifth and final prompt of the month was a book with green on the cover. And for that, I went for Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall. Again, very excited. So those are my books, and obviously we have my non-negotiable pick of the month, which is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. So that then makes 6 books for my April TBR. I'm hoping that I can complete all of these, but who knows what the month will bring. So make sure to subscribe so that you can see what books I managed to complete this month, and come back in at the end of April to pick my May TBR. Feels like the month is flying ahead. I really enjoyed filming this video, guys. I had so much fun with the prompts. Definitely need to be a bit more like strategic with the prompts I put in, because the fact that the first prompt I picked, I didn't even have a book that would cater to that prompt. It's a little bit embarrassing. Make sure to let me know down below what is on your April TBR for the month. I am very intrigued to hear. And also, let me know if you would like for me to film and upload a March reading wrap up. So chatting through what books I read in March and what I rated them out of 5 stars, and a little bit of a kind of overview of my thoughts and feelings. Let me know if that's something you'd want to see, because I can definitely get that filmed and uploaded for you. I've read quite a lot in March, so yeah, be cool to share. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment down below what you're reading in April, and subscribe if you'd like to see more bookish content from me. We would love to have you here on the channel. I've actually nearly hit 400 subscribers, which is honestly overwhelming in the most positive, exciting way. So if you are already subscribed, thank you so much. It means the world to me. And if you're a new subscriber, then welcome. We love having you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for another video. Bye, guys.